if you're curious why I am driving through the pit lane on a Porsche Cup race that shouldn't have any pit stops, you should stick around for the last race because that was an absolutely crazy one. I think the most crazy I've had in a while. We did 4 races this week. We are still trying to become a Porsche Cup champion on iRacing. Yeah, let's dive in. While everybody is busy with Daytona, we're here and we are loading into our first race of the week. Laguna Seca it is. So this is our second quali lap of that race, and look at the top left. We are currently not only on the board with a valid lap, but we are actually on provisional pole and looking to improve. Now coming up to the most difficult corner I've encountered in the Porsche Cup car so far, it's the corkscrew. It's uphill for the first part, then slightly downhill for the second part of the braking zone, and then obviously you dive down through the corkscrew itself. But it makes the braking very sketchy indeed. We got a decent last sector in, not too many risks, but we're just looking to get an improved time on the board, which we are going to get by just a tiny amount. Is it going to be enough for pole? What's going on? Where's the rest?
You're now 0.8, quicker than second.
I am very confused. Because I know where the number 2 car, number 1 car actually didn't quali on pole. I expected Balint, sorry if I butcher your name, mate. I expected him to jump me. So I don't know. They're all pretty close together and I'm just confused. Can I be confused?
Green, green, green.
Where do we brake? I guess here somewhere. So we actually did qualify on pole here, and I'm thinking on the top of my head here, but I believe this was the first pole position I did in the series. So, well, it's not the highest strength of field, but you gotta start somewhere. Now, for this week, I'm gonna do a little experiment. Instead of making a video of the series, I'm going to live stream the races I do for the series. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that, but it mostly comes down to me discarding a lot of the footage that isn't interesting enough to put in a 20 to 25 minute video. Otherwise, the videos will become really long. A live stream is a good way to also interact with you guys, and in all honesty, it's very hard to stay creative with the thumbnails, with the editing, with everything. It's a little bit harder to engage new viewers with a series like this, so I'm going to make other videos about other stuff that I do in sim racing that are more appealing to a general public, if that makes any sense. And I still be doing the series, but in a live stream form, so it's a win-win in my book. Alright, so this is gonna be a race versus my concentration. Me versus my concentration, our arch nemesis. Not sure if that was correct English, but we're still on 0x as you can see. 10 minutes to go in this race. Can we keep it clean? We're braking a bit later, and like I said, the corkscrew is sketchy and we could have gotten a 0x there, but I decided just to drive through the gravel. Because why not? Why? I'm blaming the gravel, 100%.
Rainy curve, looks like it's David.
100% the gravel, not my 1x. So as you can see, the sun has set and we are on the final lap, this time braking in time for the corkscrew. And maybe this was the most boring race I did in a while. In a good way though, because we are definitely going to get that win. Just making sure we don't get any incident in the last couple of corners. But yeah, like I said, very confused, but we get the win.
Liters remaining.
We get the win. That was not as exciting as I hoped.
Well done, Harry. Great
But
win. You
a
deserve
win
that
is
today.
a win.
That's the end of the session.
And I will gladly take that. Because it's only our second win this series. Race number 2. We're loading into it. And I believe we have 4 splits this time. So that means higher strength of field, which means more championship points up for grabs. We're the number 5 car now. That's good. That's definitely a higher strength of field, but more competition as well. So let's see if we can repeat that good result from last time. It all starts with a good or a decent quali at least. Turn 1 is also downhill braking, very easy to outbrake yourself, as I will, spoiler alert, demonstrate later in this video. Tires not fully up to temperature yet, as you can see, drifting wide onto the gravel or sand. Alright, lap 2 it is then. Should be the faster lap of the 2 anyway, but it's always nice to get a banker in. So this is that second lap. We did get a clean and decent first sector, but we're now coming up to that corkscrew. First part uphill braking, so that's fine. Then we go down and we have a slight lock up on the left. No. And yeah, just drive to the gravel again. Right. We're back. Back in usual business, guys. Ah, man.
Go.
That's a good launch. See the outside then.
On your left. Hold your line. Clear left. Car left. Keep it steady. Still there. He's still there. Still there. Still there. Hold your line. Clear left.
Nice one, Harry. Good start.
Decent. That's decent indeed. I believe we won 3 spots there at the start. I'm starting to get used to these hand clutches on my wheels, so it's definitely good for the launches to start a little further from the back. Now we are already in single file coming up to the corkscrew, and you kind of want to be in single file unless you are already side by side coming out of that last turn. Because if you go side by side, just look in the mirror, somebody brakes later there. If you go side by side, it's usually time loss for the both of you, and that is not what you want, especially not in the first couple of laps.
Yellow flag. Watch out.
It's a freebie? I thought I saw a car there. Not sure. So here we come down to the Andretti hairpin turn 1 for the first time on full speed, and that's usually where there is some chaos, or at least some people are braking themselves. I try to go for the gap here.
Still there. Clear to the right.
Why did he hit me like that? You can see my confusion because I truly didn't understand what happened there, but it was just Yuji who got a little loose, and I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Definitely blocking Rexy here because I don't want to lose any more positions, but I do feel that the car has some damage on the right rear. So Rexy here absolutely gonna send it. Typical Porsche Cup nudge there. I also don't want to defend really hard at this point because I'm not sure what the damage will do if I push 100%. Maybe I'll lose control and lose even more positions. Just pissed because it was unnecessary contact. That's it. Really. Still salvages top 10, come on. Let's see if we can. We did get used to the damage fairly quickly. I'd say the car was a little bit more on the loose side now. But as you can see, we are putting the pressure on Rexy here. Slight nudge. I return the nudge favor in typical Porsche Cup fashion. Now this is an interesting moment because I'm not sure if this is the gravel, but it's way too much entry speed and we almost collide there. See ya.
There's an incident in turn 4. Looks like it's Smith.
Car's definitely oversteer there, but
okay, Harry,
nothing we can't handle.
Car is car number 70, B license, and their rating is 2.6.
On to the next. And the interesting moments keep piling up here because look at the car in front of Yuji there. A lock up and into the gravel, which means they go side by side now. I see the gap here, but again there is contact, and this contact was a lot harder than the last one.
You have 9 in incident points.
Out of cars. Was optimistic, yeah, for sure. So you can look on the overlay of the steering wheel. You can see the car isn't pointing straight at all. There's a big dead gap in the steering, if you want to call it that. So I knew at this point that the car was really damaged, as I'll prove as well, because I brake in time there and there's just absolutely nobody home. Car is properly.
Just cut the track. Come on, man, defend
And
harder.
in a weird way,
Incident
what's
points.
about to happen is
Incident
gonna
to
save
turn
me
three.
from
It looks like
driving
show.
this car any
Car
further.
in front of us is car number 12. C license.
Are you for real? There we go, race number 3. And it's the day after the big day. And I obviously mean the day after the Daytona 24. So I'm very curious to see who is already doing these Porsche Cup races with me. Diving into the race instantly this time, and look at this launch. We get one position off the line easily. We had a pretty okay quali. I managed to get a very average lap in, so 5th it was on the grid. And we tried to ride it around the outside here.
Left side.
Bit of understeer causes me to push wide, so we're still side by side here, but this is the most impressive thing you will see today. I'm gonna look at the mirror here, and there we go, flashing on the exit of a corner. That's gotta be some kind of record. It's impressive. A bit deep into
The guy
T1,
in
but
front is Matty, car number 3,
think
C
we can
license.
handle. Now they're fighting for P2 in front, and they actually make contact here on corner exit. It gives me the opportunity, if I don't run into that guy. It's a very difficult name, I'm not going to try to pronounce, but we do get a position and we have to block here to avoid him getting the inside for corkscrew, because if you're on the outside there, you're gonna lose a position for sure. So 2 positions gained. Maybe a bit bold block, but it's fine. Can't expect me to leave the door open like that. You can see the change in conditions from the start to the finish, because yes, this is already the last lap. Now you can check on the relative. We kind of kept off with Mattia in front. We were going back and forth a little bit, but we pulled a big gap to P4. But yeah, there was just nothing going on for me really in this race. I was just lapping and driving my own pace. I did get into a nice rhythm in the end. I was struggling a little bit at the start of the race, but in the end it turned out fine, and we're gonna get a podium in, which is good but not great, because as you can see the strength of field is only 2700, and that's just not enough if we want to get the points that we need to become this champion. It's fine. P3 is fine. I haven't said anything all race, but that's also fine.
2
P3 it
meters
is.
left.
Interesting start, bit sketchy from my side, but was fun.
Podium finish. Nice one.
Sweating. Good launch. So the idea was to go deep and cut back, but I kind of understeered on the cold tires. Should have turned in a bit earlier, but yeah, not risking a lot, obviously. Yeah, just understeer. No temperature in the front tires. So I especially waited for the evening because I wanted to do a full race. And this has over 160 signups. What's the SOF like? 3418, so that's pretty high. The highest I've had all week. Now all we gotta do is perform well. So first of all, apologies for the audio at the beginning of this race. You can hear a little crackling through the audio. I'm not really sure what caused this, but I tried to separate the crew chief, the spotter audio from the others so that I can isolate it when I need it. But it caused this weird kind of crackling noise. I'll fix it for the next round, but it'll be gone during the race weirdly. So yeah, just bear with me for a little bit. Look at this, by the way. It's our second lap of quali. We already got a 24.8 in, so we're looking at a 23. We're a second down on our... No! This is good, 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 good. What am I even doing here? Brake, drill brake, drill brake. Missed the apex. Let's go full throttle. Oh, man. There we go. We're off for the last race of the week. And again, we get a very nice launch. Looking for the inside briefly there, but we got so much speed that we have to go the long way around the outside. And we're gonna try the same strategy I tried last race, which is all the way around the outside. Hope they bunch up a little on the inside. It can be a dangerous strategy because of car spinning, but we do get through cleanly and we gained some positions in the process as well. Still side by side here, but we got the inside for the next corner, so that should be an easy settle of that debate. That's a decent start. And that's also decent that this is the time the audio will magically fix itself. There we go. Stay calm. Race is long. Ooh. Thought they were all dead. Oh, that's a nice send. Not sure that was an intentional send though by Lars. It kind of looked like he just outbraked himself and it magically worked out. Sometimes you get lucky like that. Maybe it was an intentional send. In that case, he done very well. But this is what happens when the field bunches up a little more than you expect. You just get 4x in the rear. It's Porsche Cup. It happens sometimes. Bit of damage. We can handle it.
Can handle it.
Or not. Yeah, that was just braking way too late. Looking back at the footage, I braked where it would be arguable if I would make it with quali fuel. So with the start of the race on cold tires, I had just no chance of making that corner. Was that me just braking too late or the damage? I think it was just the first one. Alright, what can we do from 19th? We got a little bit of damage, remember, but it's nothing we can't handle at this stage. Just a little bit more loose handling, just like the time we had damage in the second race, I believe. We're side by side here with Ronnie, who's gonna brake later. Well, it's not gonna be me because I want to make the corner this lap. You can see a lot of dust and there's a car in the road there, so I kinda tried to slot in behind, but there was no space. I had to take evasive action. A couple of laps later, we're gonna try the same thing, get a better exit, even though we almost run into the back of Ronnie here. We are not really on a better exit, but let's see what can we do in the run up to turn 1. There's a big slipstream from 2-3 cars, so we have to brake early again. And we see the gap here. I'm gonna go for it. There's more contact there. A spinner, and somehow we're through. Stay calm. A little bit naughty, but it worked out in the end. Looking for more and more positions. Looking for 13th here. Maxime going a little wide, and we are obviously gonna go for the gap. At this point in the race, we have to be quick to make our way back to the front, and we actually make it. We go a little deep, but this is how you drive corkscrew without getting an off track. Starting another lap with 15 minutes to go in these 25-minute Porsche Cup races. You can see that Lars in front kind of goes wide and has to concede here, which is gonna give us the opportunity to at least get a little closer. And we're now on his tail. You can see he's going wide onto the sand, the gravel. I don't know what it is on Laguna, but he decides to let us through by spinning. Didn't hit him, right?
Incident in turn 10. Looks like it's Ghana.
He's a goner, yeah? This is a massacre. So somehow after this we are now back in P11 and we have 14 minutes left on the clock. 10 laps left now after this one.
11th?
How?
The gap to P12 behind is increasing. It's now 0.8. P11.
And this P11 is gonna become P10 very soon, because look at the right here.
Incident in
It's gone as
turn
well.
6.
Stay.
Looks like
Thank you.
Rose.
Bad lap.
All right, Harry.
Let's see
the
if
next
we
car
can
is Demon,
improve
car
this
number
lap
8,
then.
B
Going
license.
a little deep into turn 1, slight lockup on the left rear. Car is unsettled, it is damaged, remember. Try to slide it out, but stupid. Yeah, there was no way. That was just way too much throttle. Forgot about the damage. Back to 15. And as the true professional pretend race car driver I am, I blame the damage and not my throttle control for that, well, half spin, I guess. So now we're back behind Vlad, who was the one that spun out on the right on the next corner earlier. So we have to try and make our way past him again. Coming up to Corkscrew, not an ideal overtaking opportunity as we've seen before. There is a car off there, there's smoke, and he tries to rejoin instantly, causing us to bunch up on the inside of Corkscrew. There's contact, there's all sorts of carnage. This race mate.
Turn 10, we think it might be Demon. Yellow flag. New fastest
Number
lap.
4X
Olsen,
on the gun.
123.45.
On your right. In the middle. Hold your line. Clear to
Like
the
this.
left. Left side. Clear to the left.
Black flag. We'll need to come into the pits to serve the penalty. You have 19
What was that
incident points.
scent, mate? What was that scent?
P15.
So if you get over 17 incidents or at your 17 incident, I don't know exactly, because this was my first time I had a drive-through for incidents. But yeah, if you get too many incidents, you have to do a drive-through, and that is basically the end of our race here. See if I can stay before these guys. I think I can, but... Well, let's just... Well, you get what you deserve. Shitty driving means shitty results. So. And that's basically the truth, because we kind of went off by ourselves twice, and yeah. When you get caught up in the mid-pack in the Porsche Cup races, you never know what's gonna happen, so not a great week. But we did get a win, so maybe it was a great week after all. I really want to see this.
P16, that's it, we're done.
Let's just forget about all the other stuff that happened this race. Forget about the iRating as well. What was that scent, mate? He did make the corner. He made the corner! What? Ah.
That's the end of the session.
What? Why? It was my own fault in the end. This is why being cautious sometimes isn't the way to go. Like we're cautious. This guy is rejoining. What's he doing? And he's just absolutely... Maybe it's... So where does this put us in the standings? Well, it's becoming more and more clear that not all the drivers are doing all the weeks, because we're currently in P4. Yes, you heard it correct, but you gotta take into account that only 8 weeks will count in the end. So I got to keep on putting the effort in, putting the weeks in, putting the results in, and I hope that the better weeks will come to us. I know that they will come to us, and in the end, we're gonna be the champion. Well, maybe. Yes, we're gonna be the champion. So the next video is going to be a stream. It's not gonna be a video. I'll be streaming it on Thursday, so you only have 2 days to see this video to be in time for the stream. Obviously, you can watch the stream back, but it's more fun to watch live. So Thursday evening, I'll be doing maybe 5 races, maybe 6. I don't know. I think 5. That's enough. I guess I'll see you then.